Matador.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to part 13 of our Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster Platinum Trophy walkthrough. We're picking up where we left off last time, right outside of the Island Shrine. So head on inside and you'll find a couple of guys that should look pretty familiar at this point. We've got a couple gargoyles to fight. So just make sure that at least 2 people have blue magic to make this a lot easier on yourself, and walk forward to get into a battle with them. And once again, all we need to do is to cast a couple of level 3 flares on them. If you got physical attackers with rapid fire, that works pretty well too for depleting their HP quickly. They've only got 5,000 HP. As a reminder, you do have to kill them both within a couple seconds of each other, otherwise they'll just respawn. So just try to attack them both at the same time if possible, or just kill them off very quickly in succession. And once that's done, you can proceed on and move up toward the door that they're guarding. Within an island shrine, kissed by wind, one tablet rests. Okay, let's go on up the stairs. And if you go immediately to the right, you can find the secret passage here, and that will take you up. There are a couple new Bestiary entries to find here. The Executor is the first one. It knows level 4 Graviga, so if you haven't learned that blue magic, you can learn that from this guy. Otherwise, one ninja with rapid fire is more than enough to take this guy out. If you open the box, you get 12,000 gil. And now we're just going to backtrack the way we came to the beginning of this area. Here we have Ta Avis. This bird appears more frequently later on in the dungeon, so don't be too concerned if you don't find him right away when you first walk in here, kind of like what we did. It has over 33,000 HP, so it does take quite a while to eliminate this guy. Luckily, our ninjas, who are dual-wielding weapons and using rapid fire, we can do a lot of damage every turn with that. But it's really just a long, drawn-out battle, and it's frankly unnecessarily long. But if you just keep on at it, you'll emerge victorious in just a little while. And for all that trouble, all we get is 7 ABP. No gil, no experience. What a crack. Well, anyway, we'll continue down the stairs here, and you'll see a vent that when you walk close to, it'll suck you into itself. And that will transport you all the way into another room. This room has a couple of switches, so if you activate different switches, you'll be able to do different things with that vent. But in the bottom left corner, you can grab a high potion and then walk way around the vent so you don't get sucked in accidentally. And then the right side also has an item for you, an iron draft. Okay, so now we're going to go up to those switches. But first we'll be interrupted by these Oaseras. And They aren't very dangerous. They look like the jackanapes, but they're not nearly as evil as those things are. So just a couple of physical attacks, especially if you get a lot of those rapid fires to land on the front one. It'll eliminate that and then open up the second one for good damage. Well, once those are eliminated, now we're going to actually go up and flip some of those switches. So the first one that you want to flip is the one on the right, and then head down through the vent, and that will take you to a new room. And this room has a treasure chest, so open that up for an elixir, and then head back into the vent. Once you're back in the room with the switches, you will want to flip the switch on the left, and go back into the vent once again. Go ahead and grab your item from the chest, and then head back into the vent. Now we're going to flip the switch on the right, and go into the vent again. And there you have a chest over there. There is a pretty tough monster in this box, so make sure you heal up and save. And then you can open the chest when you're ready to find this monster, which is the covert. Now this thing's kind of interesting because it's got like 7,000 HP, but once you deplete its HP, it will actually call out kind of a clone of itself or an illusion, and then you'll have to keep fighting it. Only now there's going to be two monsters, and they kind of occupy the same space here. It's a little bit hard to see, but you can look at the enemy list. Now you can see that there are two covert enemies there. So now you have to eliminate the new monster that's hiding behind him, and then take out the covert again. So it's just kind of a long, drawn-out battle here. But you're able to do some pretty decent damage at this point in the game, so just stick with it. Make sure that you're healing up as you go, because this thing can now do 2 attacks in a row now that there are 2 monsters, and a couple of those wind slashes will really eat away at your HP. So just stay on top of healing and on top of fighting when you can, and this thing will go down pretty quickly. When he's done, he'll say that's far enough, and then he'll take off. Well, at this point, Ferris was able to master the ninja skills, so I switched her over to a thief, and that's kind of nice because now we can actually see the different hidden passages. So walk way around the vent and go up through the door. Here's a consecrated circle, so use it if you want to. And in this part, we'll just walk straight up past all these pillars, and there's another monster in a box encounter. This one's a lot easier than the last one. It's just a mecha head that we found in the Pyramid of Moor a little while ago. So not too difficult. It's still very weak to thunder magic, so feel free to electrocute it however you'd like to, and this battle will be over before you know it. We get a Protect Ring as a reward for that battle. And now we're going to go to the right side through this hidden passage. And if you go to the north, you can grab a Crystal Helm. Now we're going to backtrack to this hidden passage and go all the way to the opposite side of the room, all the way to the left. Well, here's a new enemy. This is the Shadow Dancer in the back. It's not very difficult. It mainly uses physical attacks against you, and all you really need to do is kill off its bodyguards in front, and then it will be very vulnerable to any of your attacks. So if you have something like a ranger and you can just shoot arrows at it in the back row, you can eliminate it pretty quickly. Otherwise, just work on taking out those guys in front, and then you'll do full damage against it in the back. Keep heading all the way to the left, and then you go up when you reach the far side, and this chest contains an ether, so go ahead and grab that. And then there's a exit on the north wall, so just walk a little bit to the right and then up for that. If you walk straight ahead, you can grab this chest. It's a beast killer. And then head out and then go all the way to the left, and you'll just walk around the perimeter of the room. If you go the opposite direction, there are some holes in the floor that you can fall into, and it's just a pain. So instead, just walk around to the left. And then just proceed up through these doors, and you'll get up to the 5th floor. From here, there are a lot of holes in the floor, but there is a special way to walk. So go one step to the right, walk parallel to the chest on the left, and then back to where you came, and then go up 2 steps, over 2 steps, grab that chest, and then straight up, and that's how you can get out. Now we are going to farm another enemy in this room, so go ahead and walk around a little bit, and you'll encounter these guys. Their name is Numbblade, and they are very similar to your very own samurai. In fact, they even have some of the same skills that a samurai can learn. If you want to steal, you can get the Ashura weapon from them, and if you're very lucky, you can actually get the ice shield out of them. And if you can happen to grab a couple ice shields, they do come in handy against the next boss, who mainly uses ice magic against you. But it's no big deal if you don't, because I do have a very nice way to take out that enemy. So, yep, just a couple attacks will take these guys out, no big deal. So feel free to try to steal from them first, otherwise you can just eliminate them, and we'll move on once they're in our bestiary. Okay, when you're all done, then head on up. There's another consecrated circle, so you can save up if you want to. At this point, I did switch my party composition so that everyone knows black magic. So whether they're a blue mage with also black magic or just a black mage themselves, you definitely want to make sure that everyone can cast black magic, because we're going to use the sleep spell in the next fight. So once you're done, head on up to the 7th floor. There are 2 treasure chests that you want to grab here first. One is all the way on the left side. It's dark matter. And then you can walk all the way around to the opposite side on the right, and you can grab the treasure chest up here for a circlet. Now we're going to go back toward the center and up in. And at this point, you should have all 14 chests in here. So make sure you do that before you proceed. And go up to the tablet. I was excited by the thought of what warriors could have made it this far, but you're just a bunch of sniveling toddlers. Ha ha ha! Sorry, babies, but I'm sending you all to your graves. Here we have Wendigo, and not just one of them, but 4 of them. The trick is, only one of them is the real one, and we don't know which one that is. So they all can attack us, and I'm not doing a whole lot at the beginning of this fight, because actually, this guy has a blue magic that we have to learn. So we're going to just kind of sit around here and wait for him to use Mind Blast on us, and it can take a little while, but this guy isn't too dangerous while you're just waiting for him to do that. So just kind of sit around. Hopefully everyone is either a blue mage or is a black mage with a learn skill equipped, and you should be good to go, so that no matter who it hits, it will teach them Mind Blast. So there you go, he used it, and our mind was drained at that point. So now what we want to do is we want to start casting Sleep on the enemy. And what you'll notice is that it will show the animation, the little clouds appear, if it worked, and that means that it's the real one. If you cast Sleep on one of the enemies and it does nothing, there's no cloud effect on it, it means that that is one of the fake Wendigos, and we need to not worry about that one. The whole point of this process that we're doing is normally if you would attack the right Wendigo, it would then switch places with a different one, and you don't know what it is. So it's just an endless fight of trial and error trying to zone in on the right one. However, once you know which one is correct and you put it to sleep, now all we have to do is keep launching magic at it, and we can kill it without it ever doing anything again, because magic attacks do not wake up the enemy. So we're just going to focus on using Firagas here, If you were to attack the wrong ones, they can take that very personally and try to attack you, and they use a lot of ice magic, so that's where those ice shields could come in handy. But at this point, he is completely harmless as long as we don't use any physical attacks against him. We'll just keep using fire magic on the correct Wendigo, and sooner rather than later, he's gonna be dead. And for the sake of time, we'll just speed this up until the end. And there you have it. As usual, a little bit of strategy goes a long way in making these fights way, way easier. We obtained the second tablet. The gate to Fork Tower, resting place of the strongest white and black magic spells, has opened. There's something written on the tablet. Fork Tower, where the strongest of magics lie. If the two towers are not scaled and both spells removed in unison, both shall be destroyed and the tower rent asunder. Okay, well now we can just use our Time Mage's teleport skill to get out of here. And we're going to go back to our airship and fly that right over to the sealed castle of Kuza to grab 3 more of our legendary weapons. So head north and then a little bit to the east, and it's just ahead. As usual, if you need to heal up, talk to the guy in the bottom right corner to get a healing pot. And once you're all set, then head on north and go all the way up until the very end, and then you'll be back into the room with all of the legendary weapons. It truly doesn't matter which ones you pick, it's kind of whatever playstyle you like. I'm just going to go over to this corner here, and I'll grab the Sage's Staff. Now we'll go all the way to the center one in the bottom, and we'll grab this bow. It's the Yoichi's bow. The last one that I would recommend is either this one all the way on the far right side. This one here is the Holy Lance. That's good if you use a character that has lances, but maybe a little bit more versatile is the very top one here, and this is the Excalibur, so I'm actually going to choose the Excalibur. The other weapons here, there's like the bell and the harp and the whip. I really don't use the jobs that require that, so I'd much prefer going with the more versatile weapons. Okay, once that's all done, then go back to the tablet, and it will destroy itself, and then we can leave this castle. And now just run all the way back south to get out. Okay, let's hop on board our airship, and this time we're going to fly to the southeast, and we're going way down here, all the way to Crescent. And then from here, just a little bit toward the west is the Fork Tower. Head on inside, and you'll be soon met with a cutscene. The tablet said that the 2 spells have to be taken at the same time or the towers will fall down. Guess we'd better split up then. Split the party into 2 groups. Which side will Bart's go to? The recommendation here is that you send the characters to the left who are good at magic, and the 2 characters that go to the right will be good at physical attacks. So I'm going to send Bart's and Lena over to the left side, and I will send Ferris and Kryl over to the right side. Okay, at this point the party is split up into 2 people going to one side and 2 going to the other side. So both black mages here. I've got black mage with a blue mage on Bart's here, and then a black mage who also knows white magic is what Lena is rocking. Okay, so each tower has 3 different monsters and 2 chests that you need to open. So this first monster here that we're going to fight is the Flaremancer. Of course, everything is going to be magic based around this side. So we're just going to pummel everything away with magic and move on. We got a Sage's Miter off of that, so that's a good upgrade to our helmet if we want to. Once you head upstairs, then go out the bottom exit, over to the right, and then re-enter the tower. Here's a Chrono Controller. This one, it casts Regen on itself, so it can try to heal, but it's nowhere nearly strong enough to save itself from our onslaught of Firagas. Okay, once back inside here, we'll grab our first treasure chest. That's all the way just straight ahead of us. So go up and grab that. The third monster that we need to find in this tower is these guys. This is the Tiny Mage. And of course, Firaga will be more than enough to destroy it, especially if you've got the legendary weapon to go along with it. This treasure chest is just an ether, and then we can head on up the stairs. From here, just circle around the room and go back up the stairs on the opposite side. And then exit out the bottom, and then you can go into the door right next to it. Proceed up the stairs. There's going to be another treasure chest on your left-hand side, so go ahead and grab that. That's the Wonder Wand. It's a new magical weapon that you can use, and what it really does is just uses some spell when you attack with it in battle. So it can be a lot of things. I've seen it used protect or cure or silence, just a wide variety, basically whatever spell is available to it, it can use. Well then, go on all the way up the stairs, just keep working your way up, and when you get to the top, it will automatically switch to your other party, which is going to be your physical based party. So here we have a thief that's dual wielding. We also have a samurai on Kryl and blue magic. So the blue magic is really just for healing because we have white wind with that. Okay, so then head on up, and this floor's layout or the tower's layout is exactly the same as the opposite side. So keep working your way up, and we're going to go all the way up to the 6th floor before I show you the battles that you have to go into. So grab the chest on your way up and then head on upstairs. This is the 5th floor. Just walk around and back up the stairs. On the 6th floor, we're going to be looking for our monsters. So walk around a little bit until you get into some different encounters. Here's a goblin. This is similar to other monsters that you fought, so they're very weak. You don't have to really worry about these guys at all. I don't even think that you need to add them to the bestiary here, but just in case, I'll show it to you anyway. But I think that they are from an earlier part of the game. Okay, and then keep walking around. You're going to find a berserker, and of course, if you have that dual wielding, you can do 4 attacks at once, and it will be dead very quickly. Okay, keep running around here. We're looking for another thing, and we actually get our last two monsters in one battle. So there's Iron Muscles and Dueling Knight. The Iron Muscles, it can die with just a couple attacks from your team. I would really recommend not attacking the Dueling Knight until you can kill it in one turn. So I probably could have attacked him with a samurai, but instead I just waited for that dual wielding attack, and that was able to kill him off in one turn. Otherwise he counterattacks and does a whole ton of damage to you. Well, once that fight's over, then keep going upstairs, grab the treasure chest. It's the Defender, it's a different sword for you, and then you can go upstairs. Okay, and then when you're all the way at the top of this tower, then you will actually be able to fight the boss here. So make sure that you are healed up and saved, and we're going to go up into here. We have to take both of them at exactly the same time. Take it right when I do. Got it. Back in the Tower of Moor, we fought an enemy called Sekhmet, and upon defeating it, he mentioned his brother in the tower. And this is this guy, this is the Minotaur, who uses really strong physical attacks, and he does a lot of damage to us. Luckily, Kryl, being a samurai, knows a skill called Zenanagi, which is just a Japanese word for money throw. So we're just going to damage him a lot every time we use it. We do actually lose some of our gil whenever we do that, but that's okay. We've got enough gil to spare, and we just want to kill this guy quickly. When you kill him, he says, "The power of holy magic. I think it's time you tasted its might." And then he tries to cast holy on you, but he has no MP, so it doesn't do anything. And then he just dies. So good battle there, just a couple of Zenanagis, and he should be out of here. And we obtained the White Magic Holy. If we don't take it quick, the whole tower will blow. And that's true, we only get 10 seconds to interact with this thing. So instead of what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the jobs up just a little bit. I'm going to make Lena into a summoner. That's going to help us out a lot. And she will keep her white magic as well. And we'll make sure that she's properly equipped before we go into this. And of course you want to save it. So you only had 10 seconds to go into your menu and then go ahead and grab that orb. So here's the Omniscient enemy. This guy uses only magic attacks. So you'll want to do a couple things against him to protect yourself for that. Number one, you want to use Carbuncle as a summon, and that will give you the Reflect status, and that means that he's pretty harmless at this point as long as you keep up that Reflect status that you get from Carbuncle. Other than that, I found that Eroga works very well with him, so using your blue magics, you can do that, or you can cast Firaga on him, really anything that's damaging. You can summon Bahamut, or Odin, or Sildra, anything to do a lot of damage. Those higher level summons do quite good work against him. So again, I'm going to speed it up. There's not a whole lot going on here. Just know that when he dies, he actually does have MP, so he will try to cast Flare on you, and that's why you want to make sure that you have a Carbuncle continually giving you that Reflect status. If it wears off, make sure that you recast it, because he will get his Flare to cast, and then he will be able to bounce that right back at himself if you have that Reflect status on. So I'll speed it up until the end of this battle, and I'll see you on the other side. And here comes Flare, but of course it will reflect right back on himself, and that will end the fight. We obtained the black magic flare. So we did get the ultimate black magic and the ultimate white magic from these towers, just as it was told. The tower, it's disappearing. Well, the tower's gone and it is replaced by the entrance to Catapult. So why don't we hop in our airship and then land here, and we'll go down inside. So we're going to run all the way to the living quarters. That's all the way to the left here. So just take off running and work your way all the way downstairs. Oh, my head's spinning. Grandpa, you okay? I think I'm gonna be sick. But first, the good news. We discovered some long-lost engineering techniques in an old book. Means we can upgrade the airship with submarine functionality. Really? Of course, nothing's impossible for me. Come on, Mid. Yeah! Shouldn't take much longer. Wow, you two really work hard. Grandpa blames himself for the world having ended up like this. But it's not like there's anything he could have done. I know that. I think deep down he knows it too. From now on, he's determined to see his inventions used for peace. And that should do it. Once you're in the water, press the confirm button and then the down arrow. The undersea world is yours to explore. Thanks for everything, guys. Bart's. I can't fight for beans. In fact, about all I'm good at is modifying machinery. Even so, I've tried to do everything I can to help you out. The rest is in your hands. Come on, guys. We can travel underwater now, right? Aye, now we can search for the tablet that's underneath the waves. Mid, take good care of your grandpa. You guys take care too. No point in dawdling, let's go! Okay, let's do some underwater exploration. We are going to fly north, and we're going to go past this cove here all the way up into the X-shaped lake, and then we're going to land and go under the water. From here, you can see a tower under here, and that's actually the Sunken Tower of Walse. If you need to, go ahead and use the facilities in the basement, and you can rest up, get all healed up nicely before we go. Okay, and from here, we are going to leave. God, I can barely hold my breath, but only for about 7 minutes. That's right, we have a 7-minute timer for this dungeon, so do a quick save at the beginning. It's a very straightforward dungeon, and actually there's very little that we have to do here. So just head out the bottom, and then you can fall down the first hole just to your right when you land up in the next floor. On the 8th floor, just exit out the bottom. 7th floor, run all the way around it. As you go through this whole area, you'll find all these shadow enemies, and they're just versions of enemies that you fought before. There's a whole bunch of them, and none of them count for the bestiary, but there is one that counts for the bestiary, and I'll show you where that one is and how to get it. Okay, so head on all the way downstairs. You'll see one treasure chest to your left there. We'll get it right now by going down the stairs on the next floor and then up the vines. Make sure that you're just running away from all of these fights. This actually does charge up the chicken knife if you were able to get that one earlier. Otherwise, if you chose the Brave Blade, then don't run away from these fights. Instead, it's probably better off if you just push in the right stick, and that is going to turn off all the encounters. When you open the treasure chest, you actually get 7 more minutes to work with. It refills your timer all the way. So technically you get 14 minutes to do this whole thing. And that's way more time than you actually need. On Kryl, I did equip the Mazamune weapon, and that gives her basically a full ATB bar as soon as the battle begins, which really helps in running away. So if you want to run away quickly, just hold the L1 and R1 buttons, and you will escape immediately when you get into battle. Makes it very handy for you. Just keep working your way all the way around, using the stairs to proceed down to the bottom of the tower. And on the first floor here, there is a crystal on the ground. That's ultimately what we need to grab, but we're not going to do that just yet because we need to find that one bestiary entry. So at this point, just keep running around, and it'll take you a little while. You do need to keep about 2 minutes on your timer, so I would strongly recommend that you do a quick save, just in case you need to farm this area a couple times if this monster doesn't show up. But just keep running around, and eventually you will run into the monster that you need. And it's this guy. There's this little ball on a stick thing. This is the level checker, and it also comes with, I think that's the prototype that comes along with it. If you're able to use level 3 flare, then you can do some pretty good damage against the level checker. I also strongly recommend you cast Carbuncle so that you can get that reflect status up, because it's going to use a couple skills on you. It will use search to try to analyze one of your characters to figure out what level it is, and then it's going to use some level based spell, whether it's like level 2 old, level 3 flare, level 4 Graviga, whatever it can find, and it's going to make your day very bad. However, you can just reflect that off of you, and you're able to just take it out pretty quickly using level 3 flares. It only takes a few of them for it to go down. Unfortunately, its friend, the prototype, does not have that same weakness, but Mega Flare works pretty well against it if you feel like doing some pretty strong summons. Otherwise, you can use some strong thunder-based spells like Thundaga, and yeah, just take a little time to beat it. As a reminder, your time does tick down through this whole thing, so just be careful about that too, because we do have a boss fight to do right after this. Okay, so once you got that one done, we do have about 5 minutes left on our clock. That's perfect. We're going to go into the bestiary real quick, and I'll just show you what one that is. So all the way down to number 207 is the one that we're going to look at here, and that is the level checker. So there you go. If you got that one, then you're good to go. Everything else doesn't matter down here. So here's a quick save right before the boss quote-unquote fight, because we're not actually going to be fighting it. It has taken the first 2 acts, but now the amazing power of this crystal shard is within my competent grasp. Turn back and be gone. I shan't allow you to take it. Will you heed my warning? No, we're not going to heed that warning. Then let the curtain rise. And here we have the famed mimic Gogo. My name is Gogo, mimic extraordinaire. The basis, no, the very soul of mimicry, is the ability to aptly imitate anything, no matter the situation. Thusly, I will imitate your every move. When you attack, I too will attack in like. When you cast a spell, I too will cast that spell. Could you imitate me? You'd certainly win. But more likely, the curtain will fall on your lives. Okay, hardest boss fight ever, because all you have to do is literally nothing. If you do any action whatsoever, then Gogo is going to mimic that at you. So don't attack it, don't defend, don't do anything for this whole time. Just set your controller down, go get something to drink or a snack or something, because this thing is just going to wait itself out. So if you can sit here and do nothing, then you will win. And that's why we just need a little bit of time, because the time does take down this whole thing. So just sit here and we'll see what happens. Oh, bravo, bravo! Perfect, just lovely. You've observed me doing nothing, and are copying my inaction. Or should I say, you're doing perfectly nothing perfectly. Yes, you feel it, the essence of mimicry. I give you my blessing to follow the true path of imitation. Adieu, break a leg. And he will banish himself, and that fight is done. Resting within the shard, a warrior's spirit. Mime. And there's the Master Mimic trophy. And we did get the mime skill from defeating the famed mime Gogo. Okay, so we're just going to put on our time mage and we're going to do a little time magic to teleport out of here, unless you feel like running the whole way back, but it's much faster to teleport. And once that is done, then you can be back in your submarine and you can surface. Now what we're going to do is go back into its airship mode, and we're going to go just a little bit south of here. And if you come way down to kind of this region here, just kind of in the middle of nowhere, you can then go under the water, and you will find something that looks like this big crack in the ground. And it's actually the Great Sea Trench down here. So head on out of your submarine, and you'll see once again 2 more of these gargoyles that have the exact same weakness as all the other ones. They are no tougher than what we have already fought. So 2 level 3 flares, anything that will get you to 5,000 damage is all that you need, and then they'll be dead. Deeper than the ocean floor, yet enveloped by flames, one tablet rests. Okay, for this section here, every enemy is considered undead, and we have a very potent weapon against the undead in the form of the Bard's Requiem song. So I wanted to make sure that everyone had Sing equipped. So whether it's the Bard job itself, or if you just have the Sing secondary ability, go ahead and start running through here, because all it takes is one use of Requiem and everything will die. It's very effective. So this place is awesome if you want to level up or gain some extra AP, because everything is just going to die in one hit. And once you teach everyone, or I should say once you command everyone in battle to use Sing, then every time you get into battle after that, all you have to do is hit square and initiate the auto battle, and it will take care of all the enemies for you. So as you're walking along, the first path down here, that will lead you down to a water scroll, so make sure you grab that. These things also die to a Mega Flare in case you push the wrong button by accident. So work your way through here. There are different enemies that you have to add to the bestiary. Unfortunately, they're all named the same thing. They're all known as unknown, and it makes it a little hard to know what to do. But if you look in your bestiary, they all have different entries. We'll check that out in just a little bit. So walk down the stairs here, hit that switch, and then move on over. You'll see another switch. Don't hit it. Instead, go all the way to the north and just keep working your way up the left side here through the little hole. And then keep going on up, and you'll go down the stairs you encounter, and then the top right skull switch is what you want to hit. So go ahead, hit that one. It unveils a path for you. So go up and into that path. Once you're at the top, there's a treasure chest for a flame ring, so that's pretty good. And now we're going to go back down kind of by where that switch was, only we'll exit out the bottom. Make sure that you cast float on everyone. That's a time magic skill. So put that on and then give everyone the float status so that we can walk through the lava without getting burned. And then just make sure to re-equip Sing. Okay, so we can walk through the lava unimpeded at this point, and now we're just going to work our way toward the north part here, and then to the right, and continue going north. Here's another unknown enemy, the skull or skeleton that hangs down from the ceiling. That one actually takes 2 of the Requiems, but again, everyone knows it, so we're just going to obliterate him without any difficulty. Grab the treasure chest at the top, and then you're going to head out the bottom right exit. In this room, there's a few things that we need to do, so head on all the way south, and there's going to be a treasure chest in the lava here. Grab that for an ether. Then we're going to continue toward the right, and there's some stairs, so go up the stairs and work your way to the right and then down, and you'll grab the next treasure chest. From here, go up, continue to the right in the lava, and you'll find an exit out the right hand side. Well, let's have a look at our bestiary. If you scroll way down here, you should at this point have many unknown enemies. So starting at 168 all the way down through 172, you should have all of those. Don't worry about the frost bowl. I got that one kind of accidentally in something that I did not show you yet, but I will show you how to get that soon. Well, if you have all of those unknowns, then you can head down into this region here. This is the Kingdom of the Dwarves. This vendor here, is actually 2 vendors in one. So you can talk to him on the bottom or top of his square table, and he will be able to sell you some armor. And if you talk to him on the right or the left sides, that's where the weapon shop is. So take this opportunity to buy yourself some upgrades if you'd like. There's nothing on the weapon side that I really need at this point for our setup here, but it's all good armor stuff. When you're ready, then you can head on out of here. So if you go in this door here, talk to the guys, they just tell you more about this place, a little bit of lore stuff. There is a long winding path south of here and way to the west. Way at the end is just a guy who will tell you about where to find the Phantom Village that we already got to. Well, from here you can head on south and you can go through the water, and now we're back into another lava-y area, so make sure that everyone has float. And we're going to work our way hugging the bottom here, and we can find 3 switches that we need to get. So grab all of them here. There's one kind of at the top left, there's a bottom left, and then one on the right. So go up and flip all of those switches. Once that's done, you'll go to the right and then just all the way up, kind of hug that right wall, and that will take you up to another staircase with a switch that will open up the stone door, and you can already see the treasure chest there, so go up and grab that guy. And that's the Kaiser Knuckles, and then another treasure chest just to your left. If you go grab that thing, that will actually open the door right in front of you. Okay, so we have all 6 treasure chests in this area at this point, and we're ready to finish up this dungeon. So what we're going to do now is turn everyone into a Mystic Knight. Do keep Lena as a summoner here. There's a reason for that, because we're going to be utilizing Odin. I did the Mystic Knights because there's 2 ways to take care of these enemies, and I'll tell you that strategy in just a second after this little cutscene. So they say that Exeth sent us and told us to kill you. Orders, you know, nothing personal. Oink. Oink, oink, oink. These little pig boys are known as Phobos, Triton, and Nereid, and they have a couple weaknesses. They are weak to instant death through Odin. It's a little bit rare to get that to work because it can use one of 2 different skills on it. So you can do that hoping that it will work. Otherwise, what you can do is you can use Break on all of your Mystic Knights, and then if you can attack really fast in succession, you can kill all 3 of them, and the whole point is for them to die at the same time. So just like those gargoyles that we fought before, you gotta kill them very quickly in succession, otherwise they'll just keep coming back. So, like I said, the fastest way to do this is to get Odin to kill them all for you. But unfortunately, it doesn't work all the time, so you just kind of have to try it out and see what happens. Otherwise, you can try to use your Mystic Knight's Break to kill them instantly. And what I should have done is waited until Bart's was available, and then I could have killed the 3rd one off right away, but I was a little bit slow on that. They can get really mad at you and try to use Delta Attack, and that can really mess up your team. So just make sure that you try to endure it as best as you can if they're all available. Yeah, you can see they use Delta Attack to instantly petrify Barts. But one Asuna will take care of that problem for us, and then we just keep on trying to take them down, keep on trying to use Odin, and eventually one Odin will stick, and that will be Sunken, which will kill all of them at the same time. So I'll just let this battle play out, and I will see you on the other side after Odin decapitates all these guys. There you go, not too bad. Certainly easier than trying to do that the hard way. And we obtained the 3rd tablet for that. Something's written on the tablet. Received the magic sealed in the magma flow. Meteor. Okay, well now we can use teleport to get us back out of this dungeon. And we can surface now from our submarine. And now that we have another tablet, let's go on over to the sealed castle of Kuza and grab some more legendary weapons. We'll talk to the guy in the bottom to grab a free heal and remove all of our status ailments, and then of course just run straight up. Yeah, at this point, it really is your choice of whatever weapons you want to use based on the jobs you have or certain interests you have. I'm going to go over to the bottom right corner. We'll grab the rune axe. I don't think I've used an axe a single time in this whole playthrough, so not a high use weapon for me. From here, we're just going to go up one more, grab the Holy Lance. And one more, so right up here we can grab Sasuke's katana. Once you've collected all 3 of your legendary weapons, then head up and talk to the tablet for it to be destroyed, and you can exit. Okay, I think it's time for this video to get wrapped up, so I'll do my outro right here. Just want to thank you all so much for all the support that you've given this series so far. I really appreciate all the likes and the comments that I'm getting for this. Make sure that if you have any questions, then let me know. Otherwise, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with the series and much more in the future. So thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.